What is going on, everybody? Happy Halving Day. I almost said Fork Day. It's been a busy week, man. Ravencoin, well, I mean, I know this is the following week, but, you know, last week was all Ravencoin and the Veta building competition, and then now we've got the Bitcoin Halving. Pretty crazy. So I actually thought I was going to have a lot more time to prepare for this. I thought I was going to have, it wasn't really supposed to happen until tonight at around 9 was the last I checked yesterday, at around 9 p.m. Eastern time, my time. Hey, what's up, Nefaris? But what they did is the miners are just trying to get that last little bit because they fired up the, they must have fired up a bunch of miners because the hash rate was going crazy, the hash rate was going crazy earlier today. And I think that this might be a little bit lagging a little bit. I think it actually hit up to, let's see here, let's see if I can just get this down. Yeah, I think it went higher than that, but I'm not gonna, not gonna worry about that too much. But just realize that it's at a pretty close to an all-time high, pretty close. But this was all, recently that this happened, that kind of went up the last couple of days. So I guess that they were trying to get the last little bit out of those S9s, I guess. And so the block times are a little bit shorter. You can see that if you go to what to mine, they're supposed to be 10 minutes, but this is showing 8 minutes, 20 seconds, right? Let me do a refresh here. Yeah, 8 minutes, 25 seconds. And this is a few blocks later than the last time I refreshed it. So the block times are a lot faster. There's higher hash rate, so they're solving faster. So that's why the block times are coming down a little bit. It should be probably, see, we need 6 more blocks, so probably about 45 more minutes. I would assume somewhere around in the 45-minute mark is whenever it'll actually happen. And I really want to keep an eye on it. I want to actually capture it, live streaming and all that. I think it'll be neat. But you might be wondering, okay, so what exactly are we looking for? And a lot of people, hopefully, most of my viewers are going to know that Bitcoin, all the cryptos have a mining reward that are proof of work. They have a mining reward. This is the third time. This will be the third time that the mining reward for Bitcoin has been decreased by 50%. It's part of the code. It's part of the Satoshi Nakamoto code, original code for this halving every 210,000 blocks. We're going to be at block 630,000 in about 45 minutes. And it's going to, the reward, the mining reward, which is currently about $107,000 per block, mining reward based on 12.5 Bitcoin per block. So it's about 107,000, maybe a little bit less than that now, per block, that is distributed as rewards for mining that block. Okay, so that is going to decrease by 50% down to 6.25 Bitcoin per block. And you can see from a mining perspective how that's going to affect the miners like right away, right? That's why there was a lot of talk of whether or not the halving was priced in or not, and before the halving, right? And it really can't be, right? I mean, traders and stuff, yeah, maybe, the whole idea, but behind it and what's going to happen, maybe there was some pricing in, but you can't really price in something that is a direct effect of the network itself, right? A reward, how much is going to be produced, how much Bitcoin, how much of the inflation is going to decrease, and all that stuff. You can't price that in until it actually happens. And that's why we're probably, my opinion, we're going to see probably not very much volatility in the price. I mean, it's gone down a little bit today, not a whole lot, but there's probably some last minute selling and stuff like that from miners or whatever, but I don't really get too much into the whole financial part of it because I am just a dude on the internet. I am not a financial advisor, so I try to stay out of that part of it, but it does play a role, especially in trading. If you're a real trader, a crypto trader, especially Bitcoin, and you don't understand the impacts that the proof of work part of it has on mining, it has a lot less effect now than it did in previous halvings because there's more economic mass held by people other than miners at this point. In the previous halvings, 2016, 2012, a large portion of the Bitcoin was held by miners, so it had a bigger impact. Now, there's a little less of that. It's still going to have an impact, but I think that we're going to see, it's such a large ship to move at this point, right? The value and everything. I mean, sure, whales can still do their thing, and most of those whales might not even be miners, right? So they have just purchased and accumulated over the years, and they're the ones that can make the market and move the market in significant ways. Not so much miners anymore, but we will see this. It's got to have an impact, because you can't cut the rewards by 50% and not see any impact from that. So anyway, yeah, there was a high there, Nefarious. I know it's 1730. I know, but I'm talking about, it's not like crashing, right? But yeah, that's a that's a big drop. I get it. I'm just saying it's not crashing, right? Or it's not mooning right away. And how much of that can you really attribute to the halving, right? So I've got, let's see, I've got this up here. We're at, do a refresh here, make sure we're at 994 still. Yeah, there's no telling. I don't know what's going to, I think that what we're going to see the most of is a difference in hash rate. I don't think we're going to see a price difference that much. I think the hash rate is going to change significant though. And I hate how this is going to be pretty laggy as far as the information, you know. If anybody knows a real-time way of looking at the hash rate, because I don't have a Bitcoin Core wallet or anything on this computer, so there's not really a way for me to be like right in the blockchain data-wise. I probably would have done that had I had time, because this kind of like came out of nowhere. I was at work, and I was kind of keeping an eye on it, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. It's going, it's basically changed 6 hours earlier in one day, so pretty huge. So I did want to do a couple of giveaways here, but I'm going to make you work for it. It's not going to be easy. I like to do like trivia and actual questions. I have to have, you actually have to actually work for it and know something instead of just comment on a video or something like that. You have to do a little bit more than that, put in a little bit of work, and so I figured we would do that while we're kind of waiting. What's up, Crypto Mikhail? What's up, everybody? Yeah, I mean, again, I'm not a financial advisor guy. I have no idea what's going to happen with the price, right? The value, no idea. But honestly, nobody else does either. So. So we're even. Yeah, there's a good chance that all this is probably just a last effort by the old equipment, just to get what they can, until the halving. That probably happened. What did that start, like maybe last night or something? I mean, this chart shows it going down, which is weird, but I think I saw 134 for hash rate earlier. There's a lot of people doing parties and stuff, so. Yeah, there's no green or red lights in the background. It's completely just neutral at this point. Although it is a little bit red, not real red, but let's go with 7 day here. Yeah, I mean, 5% in 7 days isn't that bad. To me, I don't know. That's almost like no movement at all to me. Yeah, I mean, as far as in a week, it's down 5%. Yes, you probably had that little bump there to what we were over 10K at one time, but it came down pretty quick after that. All right, let's see here. So back to the trivia here, little giveaway here. Let me just double check. I want to keep a real close eye on this. All right, so we're about 6 blocks away, 5 blocks away, guys. It looks like they're happening. According to this, it's looking like. I mean, this one was weird here. This was 20 minutes in between here. So maybe it's 20 minutes because of that decrease that we're seeing, you know. Again, this chart is not great. I don't like this difficulty chart at all. Yeah, we're basically right back where we started, you know. Started the week. Pretty close. All right, so let's try a little. Okay, yeah, I've got counters and stuff. Somewhere. Not there. Right here. But this one seemed a little odd. This one seems a little off. I'll go to yours here in just a second. I mean, I don't know, that might be kind of close, but I don't know. Let's try the F2 pool one. This might be a little bit better data. And it's, you know, it's funny because everything gets kind of crazy, especially, you know, the closer you get, it gets kind of crazy. So I'm gonna change the time frame here. Uh-oh, Zellcash got a countdown. Funny. We'll have to do another stream for the Zell halving also. All right, let's see here. Yeah, I must have had that data right on that spreadsheet because that sounds familiar. My spreadsheet. Maybe not. Yeah, this number right here was. I don't think I ever got the formula correct for that right there. Yeah, if you want to kind of see what we're doing, what's going to happen here, you can use this spreadsheet here, and it's based. This is just based on one S19 Pro. You know, with the data that's in here right now. I don't know how much they are right now. I haven't checked. Let me grab a drink here real quick. But right now, you know, you're looking at 12.5 rewards. So if you have one S19 Pro at, we'll say 0.0, what was the average in China? It was 8 cents, I think. Oh, wait, I messed that up. Back that up. Yeah, so 0.08. All right, so one S19 Pro at 8 cents per kilowatt hour. After a year, even after the cost of the hardware, then you're going to be up. Now, obviously, this changes on a second by second basis, but if everything was to remain the same, you would be up $290 on the year and have your hardware paid for, which really doesn't matter that much with ASICs, but you know, this is that's pretty decent, right? Compared to what we've seen. But here in a few minutes, that 12.5 is going to go to 6.25, and then this happens. So you can see, I tweeted this earlier. I tweeted about this. I was like, you know, Bitcoin holders were partying, right? I did the partying icon, or the emoticon, whatever you want to call it, emoji. And then Bitcoin miners were crying, and then I had Bitcoin itself was just kind of shrugging because, you know, it's Bitcoin and it's just doing what it's told to do, right? So I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, that's pretty harsh, right? I mean, looking at this, yeesh. Got to have really cheap electricity to stay competitive. All right, so this says it's a countdown, but it just shows 1 hour. That's not very good. Doesn't even have the block number on here. Or should I go into this somehow? Is this like something, am I missing something here? Maybe because I'm not signed in? I'm not going to create an account on here. Yeah, this doesn't have hardly any information on it, other than like hash rate. Hash rate looks a little bit more accurate. So because it's going down a little bit here, it looks like maybe that's why the block times are now increasing. So let's go to what's mine, and remember the last time we refreshed it was 8 minutes 25 seconds. Now it's still 8 minutes 26, so it's still way down there. But again, all this stuff, you know, these websites collect data just like we do, so it's not like it's not going to be absolutely real time. You know, there's like aggregation that goes on. So we'll keep an eye on this. Let's see here. So we're still at 995 here, so that's good. All right, so let's do a little giveaway. I gotta give you some trivia. It's gonna be for, well, because I didn't prepare like I wanted to, right? So I'm a little bit behind because I had to rush home and get everything up and running, right? Let me, because I'll be live again tonight at 9:30, so I'm going to do a little bit of it today, or right now, and then a little bit of it tonight at 9:30 on the normal stream, and we'll talk about the halving and what's going on with it and stuff. Then also, so let's do $5 worth of Bitcoin. $5 worth of Bitcoin for the following question. And again, these aren't easy. All right, so it's going to probably take you some time to find it, and I don't care if you Google it or whatever. I don't intend on you to know the answers right away. I think that you'll have to look them up, right? Only real hardcore, you know, Bitcoin trivia people will know the answers to most of these, or some of them. Now there's a couple of easier ones, but there's some that are really difficult. And I wanted to make some questions, or find some questions to ask that were real thought-provoking, right? Because like things that you normally wouldn't think about, that matter, that will make you look at Bitcoin, and they all have to do with Bitcoin. So it'll make you look at Bitcoin a little bit different, right? Or it might. If you already know the answer, then obviously it won't. But if you, these are things that if you didn't know and now you are just learning them, you might be like, wow, that is a crazy way of thinking about it. So that's kind of the essence of the questions I wanted to put forth to win a little bit of Bitcoin here. So let's go with the first one. Now this one's going to be a softball. This is an easy question, okay? And pretty much if you've been following Bitcoin at all, you would know the answer to this. All right, so I'm going to post it in the chat. The way this is going to work, I'm going to post it in the chat. And the first person with the correct answer will be the winner, and you'll have to provide me somehow with your Bitcoin address so I can send you Bitcoin. $5 worth of Bitcoin. How's that? Sounds pretty good, right? I mean, you might be able to earn more than just $5, because if you get more than one question right, then you're good. Because I'll probably do this until the halving. So we'll see how this goes. So here's the first question. Don't laugh, because it's not that hard, but they do get harder. Trust me. All right, here we go. There's no timer or anything, just the first person to actually get it right. And it's got to be precise, like the actual answer, not like, oh yeah, it was something about so-and-so, right? No, it's got to be perfect. I think this will work this way. I know there's a little bit of delay and stuff, but I think using the chat might be a good way of doing it, because everybody's kind of on the same page over there, right? And let me get off of top chat. make sure you're in live chat too, so that, Abhinav, yep, y'all were Abhinav, that's who got it right. And see, this also stops the whole multiple account things too, right? Because it's just going to be one person answering a trivia question, right? So so yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so the times 03 January 2009, Chancellor on brink of second bailout for banks. That's 100% right. So if you look right here, this is the paper that, the way that, this is really cool because the way that, I'm going to read you something in a minute, or I'll read it and let you look at it too. It's really cool, and it really sets up this really neat scenario of how this went down, right? And I'm going to read it to you in a minute, but here's the paper. London Times, I think, is the name of the paper, right? The London Times. And you know, look at the other headlines here. You know, you got Israel prepares to send tanks and troops into Gaza, eat out from 5 pounds, right? And then you got, we have been handicapped by the league, says Ferguson, right? So I think that's the back page, but nonetheless, you know, there were other things on the front page of this, you know, paper that he could have chose, right? And whenever I say he, I mean they, right? Satoshi Nakamoto, whenever they were creating the Genesis block. So this, think about how this could actually go down. Abhinav, you can either, I mean, I don't really want you to post it here, although I think it will probably, it'll probably flag it anyway, and I'll just be able to grab it without everybody seeing it. But if I show, if you don't care, then I'll show it, because I would like to, you know, send it. Let me see. I don't even know if it's hit my wallet yet or not. Yeah, it's in here. So I do have my confirmation. I do have it in my wallet that I was going to use to send it. So however you want to do it, you can either contact me, you know, through Discord, or even you can message me on Twitter or whatever. We'll figure it out. Don't worry. I'm documenting. I'm going to write down your name here so that I know who it is. That one. Let me do that real quick so I don't forget, because I got a bad memory. All right, so before we get going with that, let me go and check the blocks, make sure that we're not getting all crazy here and getting past it. I know they're supposed to be about 10 minutes each, but you see they're going a little bit faster, right? So we're at 996. So I probably have time to read this thing to you. This is, I'm telling you, this is really cool. All right, so this is on Reddit, Bitcoin Jake's favorite website. No, I'll grab it. I'll grab it. Oh, shoot. I'll grab it, Neff. Thanks. I'll get it to you there, Abhinav. Congratulations on winning that. That was pretty awesome that you found that so fast. Or you must have known it off the top of your head, actually. So this is a Reddit and our Bitcoin. And there's this one article. This was 5 years ago. Let's see. Yeah, 5 years ago. And someone had posted, you know, the Genesis block message, right? And they're just talking about it. But this one guy comes in and he says, I imagine this is how it went down, right? And this is 5 years ago, and this is Bitcoin Charlie. So let me see if I can blow this up a little bit here. So he says, you know, I don't know. Whenever I read this, I got a little emotional because this is really cool, the way that he wrote this up. So he said, I imagine this is how it went down. It was a cold winter morning, January 3rd, 2009. Nakamoto poured his steaming cup of coffee, barely able to keep his eyes open. After many weeks of sleepless nights working on the code for Bitcoin, Satoshi Nakamoto was excited to have finally finished his life work. Nakamoto was confident the blockchain would solve the world's problems and confirm his legacy in history books of time. Now, I'm not so sure about that part of it, but it's nice to think that that's the way, you know, he was actually thinking, right? Or they were actually thinking. 3 months earlier, on November 1st, Nakamoto proposed his idea to a small but renowned group of mathematicians, cryptographers, and statisticians. So remember, this was that initial email. There was an email list of cypherpunks, right? And there was not very many people on this email. And I actually showed this in one of my previous streams about the halving. And he created this list, or he sent out the email to the list, and he's like, hey, I think I've solved because the big thing that they had to solve was the double spend problem, right? You had to have a way of validating and all the networks staying on the same page, because you can't have one node saying that Bill sent Sally 10 Bitcoin or whatever, and then over here it's not over here, so Bill is sending that same Bitcoin to someone else, right? So there's a double spend problem, and that's where Bitcoin Satoshi Nakamoto solved that problem. So yeah, that was basically the first email list, and that was way before Bitcoin Talk. It was a whole year before Bitcoin Talk came online and all that stuff. So yeah, 3 months earlier, on November 1st, Nakamoto proposed, yeah, I already read that part. So he says, I've been working on a new electronic cash system that's fully peer-to-peer with no trusted third party. The paper is available. I don't think that none of this stuff was available then. So this is a little bit out of, probably not possible that, this is what was actually going on, but it's still pretty neat. He said, the community looked for every possible reason that Nakamoto's idea would not work. Right? Because they're all skeptical. Everybody always was skeptical of electronic cash or digital cash. They claimed it would not scale and told Satoshi he did not have the resources to make it happen. Alas, Nakamoto passionately responded back and slowly but surely convinced them Bitcoin could work. Skeptically, they listened. Now, 3 months later, after working out every kink and every glitch at the time, Satoshi was ready. He had completed Bitcoin version 0.1. He looked down at his laptop and realized that as soon as he executes the command to start the blockchain, he would be removing power and policy out of the hands of corrupt governments and back in the hands of the people. Nakamoto decided that he wanted to embed something into the blockchain to send a message, but also prove that from this day forward, the blockchain will live. Glancing at his newspaper, Nakamoto read, Israel prepares to launch ground offensive in Gaza. Nope, nothing will solve that problem, he joked to himself. He continued reading, Chancellor on brink of second bailout for banks. Ah, the world financial crisis. I think we can fix this. Nakamoto turned back to his laptop, took another sip of his coffee, and typed. The Times, 03, January 2009, Chancellor on brink of second bailout for banks. Now it's ready. Enter. Presses enter on the keyboard. I mean, could you imagine? Oh my gosh. Thus, the Genesis block was created and Bitcoin was born. Nakamoto sat back in his chair, took another sip of his now cold coffee, and started sweating. History is defined by moments, and that was one of them. I thought that was cool. And I'm getting a little choked up, actually. Yeah, cool stuff. All right, let's see where we're at with the blocks. We're on 96. I just don't really want to miss it. And they're coming so fast now. So what we're looking at, if you are in a blockchain explorer and you go and you click on the block, right? Block height, then you get a little bit more information, you get the hash, all this stuff that goes on, behind the scenes, right? But what we're dealing with right here is the block reward, right? This is what we are looking at. And at block 630000, whenever we click on that block, this is going to not be 12.5 anymore. It's going to be 6.25. And that's kind of what we're wanting to document and what we're wanting to see happen, right? There's not really a way, not really a way of watching it live. I mean, we're just gonna have to let the block come in, and then once it's in here, we'll be able to click on it, right? So, yeah, cool stuff. I think I can put my face back on the screen now. Now that I'm not being choked up anymore. Yeah, I get really emotional about it, to be honest. But that article, I ran across it yesterday, actually. I was like, oh man, that's so cool, to to really put it, no one really thinks about the scenario, right? Like, there's the person, you know, Satoshi or they are sitting at this table, you know, and they've been working on this thing all this time, you know, and you know, for several months at least, and then they literally get to hit the enter key and start Bitcoin. I mean, it's just crazy. Yes, Hans, this is going to cut the mining rewards in half. That's what the Bitcoin halving is. Red Panda, I don't know, man. I have no idea. Probably not even related, right? So, I mean, some will be, obviously, you know, and everything kind of is driven by the price of Bitcoin. It's still like that. There's not a lot of decorrelation, you know, between Bitcoin and other cryptos. There's a little bit here and there. You see it from time to time, but you know, as far as like direct, I don't think so. I would love, hey, what's up, Ace? I would love for every coin to be on their own, but that's just the whole space, the whole entire space is too small for it to be like that right now. There's going to have to be much more money before you know, you can have those real breakouts of different crypto projects, and for them to be completely on their own, right? There's just so much. I mean, there's a few. I'm not even going to name them. There's a few that have done pretty amazing things recently. But those are, you know, few and far between to begin with, and a lot of times it's uncorrelated for a reason. You know, there's something about the project that takes it in a different direction, right? But if it's just basic crypto community type stuff or crypto market stuff, then pretty much everything goes off of, kind of feeds off of Bitcoin and that sentiment. So yeah, exactly, Red Panda. Like, I don't think it's going to go that high, but could you imagine a Bitcoin dominance? I think I have, where do I have dominance on? Oh, there it is, down at the bottom. A Bitcoin dominance of 80% or 90%. I mean, honestly, I would be okay with it, because hopefully what that would do is it would get all those thousands of garbage projects, right? Thousands of them. Get that stuff out of here, man. Get it out of here, you know? I mean, have a real product and use case. I know that it doesn't really matter, right? In the Bitcoin space or in the crypto space, it really doesn't matter if you have a users or product or anything. It's all based on like complete speculation, right? But I don't know. I would like to see a lot of the really crappy projects go away. They're just they're diluting the market, at least to some degree. All right, 3 more blocks. Yeah, see, okay, so this is about right here. So it's at 13 minutes here. So that was 11 minutes in between these blocks. So that makes pretty good sense. F2 pool just killing the blocks here. Yeah, I mean, what are we up to here? So if I go to CoinGecko, look at this. There are, and this is one of those little facts that a lot of people don't even know. There are 7, this is just on CoinGecko. I think there are other projects or other sources that are even more. I want to say, what is happening? Off of here. I want to say that, I don't even know where I'm at now. I want to say the CoinMarketCap. CoinMarketCap has more than CoinGecko. I forget the numbers. I don't ever go to CoinMarketCap anymore. So Okay, so yeah, a little bit less. Okay, so CoinGecko is the one that has the most or more, right? So 7,244 different coins. I mean, that's insane. That is an insane number. Yeah, I've actually on the whole mining alts into Bitcoin thing. There is a pretty good argument right now to just do profit switching type stuff and get it all into Bitcoin. You know, there's a pretty good argument for that, and even using things like NiceHash OS or mining pool, MPH, right? Those types of things. I'm normally a regular mining OS, straight to my own pool, whichever one I choose, that kind of stuff. But there is something to be said for using like NiceHash OS or NiceHash and just getting it right into Bitcoin for sure. And I might actually do a video on that, maybe. Yeah, that's Hans. If you're mining on coin that's not on CoinGecko, then you are definitely spec mining for sure. Although I don't know how many they have on here that's mineable anyway. I mean, you're probably hitting up like Bitcoin Talk threads or something like that to mine, to really spec mine coins. Is there a way to filter? Do they not have the filter on here like CoinMarketCap does? Red Panda, you're saying Masari.io showing the percent down from all-time highs since 2017. Mining on NiceHash or other profit switch since then would have been better move. Right? Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I agree. I mean, this has been fun, right? Like doing all the mining and configuring and all that stuff. But from a pure profit standpoint, yeah, I could definitely make a pretty strong argument for profit switching and just getting it all into Bitcoin. That's what even a lot of traders will tell you, that's what they do. They trade the alts to just be able to buy more Bitcoin, right? So this camera's like way back for some reason. Back on my camera. There we go. It's probably a little bit better. No, I'm actually doing $5 worth of Bitcoin here. I've already done one giveaway there, Dan the Dane. We'll do the Raven. Don't worry. We'll do it later. Yeah, basically every alt is down. Like, I mean, even some of our favorites, like ones that we like to mine, are down 95%, and with probably not much of a chance of ever getting back to an all-time high, or maybe even not even half of an all-time high. I mean, we're gonna have to have one hell of a run, for that type of stuff to happen. No doubt about it. All right, where are we at with the blocks here. $997, 3 more. That's where we were a while ago, right? Come on, slow Bitcoin, right? Ravencoin wasn't this slow. Man, I hope you're right, Nefarious. But I don't know. I don't know. I mean, you know, there's so many of them. There's so many different projects that it's going to be, there'll be some, right? There'll be some breakouts. But as far as like, I mean, if you are a project that's not really solving a problem, or you're solving a problem that doesn't even exist, like a lot of them did in 2017, 2018, then you probably deserve to go away. You know, that's about your payment, is to just go away. I can see people going to Ethereum for sure, especially if like a real bull market takes off and people are, you know how simple people are, you know, so they're looking at, they fire up their you know, Coinbase, right? And they're looking at the Coinbase, they're like, Bitcoin's at 15,000, right? Hopefully, right? So Bitcoin's 15,000. Man, I don't have $15,000. I can't buy a Bitcoin. Ethereum's at 275, 300. I could probably buy an Ethereum, right? You know how simple people are, and it's number 2 on their little list, right? So, you know, then you got, actually it might not be. Yeah, it probably is. Definitely number 2 on the market cap. I think that's how it is on Coinbase too. And then you'll have the smaller ones that are listed on there. You know, that, I mean, you're right. If they're solid projects and they're in the right places, there should be some pretty heavy pumps if Bitcoin starts pumping. But on their own, I think the point that we're all kind of trying to make is that on their own, they're probably just not. It's going to take Bitcoin to pump as well. Still down in the 8-minute block time here. All right, let's do another giveaway here. We got a few more minutes. All right, so that first one wasn't that difficult, right? And this one's not going to be that difficult, but it is definitely increasing the difficulty level. All right. So this question is one of those, I mean, it comes up every year. There's a day dedicated to it. But the details behind it usually aren't that clear, right? Like, people will talk about it, but they won't really know the details about what actually happened. So, or where it happened more precisely. So I'm going to post this question in the chat, and then whoever answers it correctly first, but it's 4 parts. Okay, so this question has 4 parts, and this is going to be for $5 worth of Bitcoin. All right, it's a 4-part question, and you have to get all 4 parts correct. And I kind of give you a hint in the question. I'm rereading it to make sure I got it right. Okay, yeah, there's one part of it that's gonna be kind of difficult, but we'll see how close y'all get. Okay, here we go. Pasting now. So that question right there is for $5 worth of Bitcoin. And first or last name. will work. You don't have to get first and last name. And a lot of you are probably like, oh, I know that. I know who it was. I know what they were. But where? So where was the person located and they were in the US. So let me know where they were at. Yeah, you can find it on Google for sure. And it's okay. I'm testing y'all's Googling skills. So whenever y'all ask me mining questions, I'll be like, man, can you just ask Google? Oh, there we go. We're getting there. We're getting there. PCG Matt, you're right, but you didn't get all the answers. Travis, pretty close. It looks like Zhao. Yep, Zhao got it. Correct. That's everything. Yeah, that was definitely a Google answer right there. That looks like a copy and paste. But that's cool. And yes, Hans, it was 10,000 Bitcoins for 2 pieces. All right, so Zhao, you're the winner there. Congratulations. BCG Matt, yep, you're right. He was from Florida. All right, so post up your Bitcoin address. The chat moderator is going to grab it, and I'll be able to copy it from there, and we'll go from there. No, not Hal Finney, Dan. Yeah, Zhao got it right the first time, or he was the first one to get it right. Awesome. So post up your Bitcoin address and I'll copy it, and we'll go from there, Zhao. I'll get it to you. What it did is it made the value of Bitcoin per coin was 0.0025 per coin was what it set the value at. Now before that, there were some trades on some. It wasn't really. There was a couple of platforms that made it possible to buy and sell Bitcoin, and I think it was something like 0.0008 per coin until this happened, right? Once this happened, because people were kind of like not laughing at Laszlo, but they were saying, dude, you could get so much more for that Bitcoin or whatever. They were commenting about it being worth more than what he was using it for, right? So, so I think at the time it was probably 0.003 or 0. It might have been 0.008. Maybe that's what it was. I don't remember. But let's just say it was really, really, really inexpensive for 1 Bitcoin. That's true. And that happened on May 22nd of 2010. Was that part of the answer? I think I asked. Wasn't that part of the question? No, yeah, and he got that too. Yeah, 22 May 2010. All right, Zhao, I got your address there. Thanks. I will get that to you. We might have a situation here where it happened earlier today where there were 2 blocks that were super close together, right? There was like it went boom boom and 2 blocks popped up at basically the same time on here. 3 more blocks. We definitely have time for some more trivia here. So how's the trivia so far? Is it pretty difficult, or is it easy, or what do y'all think? Oh wow, Zhao, that's crazy. Yeah, I don't know how I would be if I had at one point. I remember a developer told me a story about he did a like not a conference, but like a workshop on how to mine Bitcoin. This is a long time ago, a really long time ago. I think it was like in 2000, and it was probably 2010, 2011, somewhere around in there. And he did a workshop, and they had connectivity, and they had laptops, and they were all mining Bitcoin during the workshop. And I don't know how long the workshop was, probably a day or whatever. But there was one person in there that actually mined, and they were using paper wallets, I think, back then. And he had a paper wallet that they printed out, you know, and he had mined during the workshop. He had mined 125 Bitcoin, and they were leaving. They were done with the workshop, and the guy who mined that 125 Bitcoin just crumpled up the paper and threw it in the trash and was like, I'll never need this, or something like that, right? So yeah, how crazy is that? You know, you look back at things like that. Ugh, crazy. Craziness. All right, so we probably have time for another. Yeah, maybe I should just ask the question instead of posting it, because if I post it in there, then you guys can just copy and paste it and throw it into Google. This one might be a little bit more difficult than that. It might be. I'm not going to say it's ungoogleable, but we'll see about it. All right, so let's do another $5 Bitcoin giveaway here. So this one's going to be a little bit tougher, I think, and I don't know if you'll be able to Google this or not. I don't know if anybody's ever even looked into this. I mean, I'm sure they have, but... All right, so here we go. This is not 2 questions, it's just 2 different ways of asking the same question, okay? And this is for $5 worth of Bitcoin. Ready, go. Concentrated tech, that's the year. Nope. That's this one. This halving is 630,000. No. What block number will be the last, the very last in the whole world of Bitcoin? The very last halving. Y'all are trying hard. This is a tough one then. Aha, I got you to where you couldn't Google it, huh? No, Abhinav, not quite. Maybe this one is too hard. I'll give y'all some minutes here. There is a right answer. Yep, and we're at 629,998. Two blocks to go. Should be 20 minutes, but we'll see. So if we check the actual block here, still 12.5 rewards, right? Abhinav, I think you got it. 6.93 million. The Abhinav, he knows what's up. He knows what's up. So yeah. Yeah, I bet we don't see those anymore in the forest. All right, so Abhinav won that one too. It's 6,930,000. And that will be approximately in the year 2140. So I already have your address, right, Abhinav? Yep. All right, so since you found that one, I'm going to do one more for $5 worth of Bitcoin. And this one's going to be pretty tough, but if you were able to find that last one, you can probably find this one. Sloshmeister, after the final halving and there's no more block mining rewards per block, it's all going to be based on fees. So you see, if you go into you can see that there are fees here for each each block. That's what miners will be living off of, right? So you can see how, you can speculate this out. At some point, this is, the value, in order to be mining it and still be profitable, the value is going to have to go up pretty significantly to make it worth mining. Now, obviously, a lot of things are going to change in 120 years, okay? So, but hopefully nothing will change to Bitcoin, because in order to change it, you would have to change the code, you'd have to get consensus with the whole network, and hopefully that doesn't happen, and all this stuff remains the same as it's supposed to be. But things could happen with renewable energy, with electricity, with whatever. There's all kinds of things that are going to happen in the next 120 years. But yeah, you still have the fees. So that that was the whole goal, was to have the fees pay for the mining of the network. Okay. Hopefully that answered your question there. Abhinav, yeah, that one took a little bit. Make sure you close all your browser windows though, because this next one is kind of similar. And this is not this next one is not a extremely precise one, because there's some variance in there. It's not going to be a perfect number or a perfect answer, but you got to get pretty close, right? So I'll say the first person within 4 years either way, right? 4 years either way is going to be the answer. And this one is amazing. Okay, so this really puts into perspective what is going on here and what's going to happen in the future. And like we're only on the third halving of Bitcoin in its whole entire life, right? So these people that are speculating and trying to look at the past halvings and have it apply to this one, that's nonsense. There's only been 2 of them, and there was completely different scenarios for both of those, right? So the first one in 2012, you had, right after that, you had the Cyprus bank bailout situation where the island, the government, was going to levy against the savings accounts or the accounts of the wealthy there and take their money to use for the bailout of the banks and the financial system there. And instead of that happening, or not instead, but once they figured out that that's what they were going to do, or once that was presented, they started taking the money out of the bank. The holders, the people, started taking their money out of the bank and buying Bitcoin with it to protect themselves from the government, from the bank, right? So that's what probably caused that $77 up to 280 or whatever it was. That it wasn't from the halving. There wasn't enough going on in Bitcoin for that to be it. Maybe there was some, people like to point to one thing, and I'm actually doing it right now, and I hate that. I don't want to point to one thing. It's not just one thing. It's always a whole bunch of different things. But that was probably a significant part of it. If I was to put a percentage on it, probably half, right? Probably 50% was due to that scenario. Then in the 2016 July halving, you had, right after that, you had BitConnect and the whole ICO craze and all that stuff, and that's why the price. It wasn't because of the halving. So anyway, all right, I'm just going off, but a portion of it is because of the halving, but not as much as people think, right? But this question that I'm going to ask, I know we're getting close to the actual halving, but this next trivia question for $5 worth of Bitcoin is going to put into perspective a lot of that stuff that I was just talking about. Okay, so let's go ahead and I will ask the question. So I'm gonna paste it too, because it's probably gonna be pretty hard to find, and I think you might have to actually do a little bit of math. Okay. So the question is, approximately how many years will it take to mine the very last Bitcoin? So from the start of that very last Bitcoin mining, in other words, there's a maximum of 21 million. It's actually a little bit less than 21 million. It's 20,999,999.9769. There's a couple of things that happened on the network that actually affected the total. There was like one Satoshi that was lost whenever there was like a solo mine block that created this scenario that one Satoshi was actually lost. And then there was another scenario where somebody didn't configure their RSK correctly or something, and they lost 12.5 Bitcoins on a mining reward. Anyway, so there's a little less, so it's 20,999,999.9769. That's the end. So what I'm asking is, that last one is going to take some time to mine. How long is that actually going to take? And this is mining rewards, right? So that's the only way that Bitcoin are generated, is through mining rewards. So in order to get that last Bitcoin, which the mining rewards for each halving, up in that range, those many years ahead, is going to be really small, right? Because we're already at 6.25, then we're going to go to 3.125, then we're going to go to 1.5 whatever, right? And then actually I can tell you 1.56, 0.78, 0.39, 0.19, 0.09, and that's early. That's 10 epoch. Only 10. All right, let me check the. I know I'm getting off track here. Let me make sure that we're not. All right, we're at 998 still. All right, so let me check the chat, see where we're at. 2140 is the last year. 120 years, nope. 29 years. Ooh, Zhao. I think Zhao's closest there. He was the first closest, because I think it's going to take, based on what I was looking at, it's going to take about 36 years. All right, so I'm going to have to go with, I'm going to have to go with Zhao on the answer there. 34 years was the first closest answer, by 4 on either side, right? PCG Matt was close, Unknown Crypto was close, Janelle was close, Crypto Mining Lifer's close, all y'all were close, but Zhao got it the closest within the tolerance, right, of 4 on either end, plus or minus. But the calculation I did were 36. That was going to be my precise answer. Could be, some people say 40, but obviously, no one knows. It's going to be, based on the network over 120 years. So there's no telling. But it is going to take a long time. So imagine, so just think about this. So let's say that let me do a refresh here, make sure we're not over. Because I'll get going and then I'll miss it. All right, we are at 62999. So I'm just going to sit here and refresh every couple of seconds, or a few seconds here. So imagine you are a miner. Well, let me cover this real quick. So I'm going to go into the block. I'm going to look at the block rewards. You can see right here it's 12.5. Boom, right? So this next block, 630,000, it should be 6.25 down here, right? And you'll see the Coinbase, this first, the hash and the Coinbase, the newly generated coins. That's what Coinbase are. Newly generated coins are called Coinbase, and those are, you know, minted coins, right? So you'll see this won't be anywhere near 13. It'll be 6.2, you know, 5 or something like that, right? Or 6.5, somewhere around there, depending on the fees for that particular block. Okay, and 2 confirmations so far, so we got a little bit of time here. All right, do a refresh. Oh, there it is. Never mind. It happened fast. It happened way faster than I thought. 6.25. We are there, guys. We are there. Awesome. Woo! It's so cool to see stuff like that. I don't know. I'm like a super nerd, but that's yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I did. I refreshed right before I started talking again, and it was 63 or 630,000. So, yeah, awesome. $85.24. See, this one was way off. This one still has minutes to go. And see, I told y'all this too. I was like, you know, so many of these are just so far off, you know. You can't trust any of them. You kind of got to just go to the blockchain and look. It says 85.55 here for the price at halving. 85.36. All right, so we're around in the same area there. Nefarious. Yeah, that's cool. You know what? I should have done that. I should have went ahead and sent the Bitcoin, and then we could have had it actually be in that block. That would have been cool. Yeah, I'll remember that for the next Bitcoin halving. I will do giveaways, probably, maybe, hopefully, if I'm still around, and I will try to get those into that block. So it'll be 840,000, block 840,000. So that'll be neat. Yeah, should have done that this time, but still pretty cool. Yeah, let's look at the hash rate. It's going to take a little bit of time before we actually see a whole lot, I believe. But let's see what has happened so far. Not much on this chart. Let's go to F2 pool. We'll refresh here. Okay, that's a pretty good little decrease there. Actually, it's hardly any. Okay, so yeah, probably going to take a little bit before we'll see much of a difference in hash rate. But definitely goodbye S9 for sure. Yeah, that would have been cool too, Nefaris. Yeah, sometimes, sometimes I do pretty good with the giveaways, and I think about all the different little things that we can do. And sometimes, like today, I'm caught off guard because I was expecting to have some time. And then I was looking at it at work, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is going to be at, 3 o'clock, And so, yeah, it kind of caught me off guard. It ate into my prep time, right? I was going to like figure some of this stuff out. So, sorry, I wasn't on top of it enough. And because it's a block number and not a time like the Ravencoin fork was, you kind of have to just go with it, right? It just happens. You saw those block times getting down in the 8-minute mark, so you add that stuff up, and it takes hours off of the actual halving. I mean, you saw, and I mean, look at this. This doesn't bode well for this one clock that everybody always puts up. This one here. Was it this one? Yeah. So like they just had to change it all of a sudden, right? So it was 14 minutes off. I saw a really cool I saw a really cool tweet too. It's like, the little normie guy sitting at a computer and it's like counting down, the blocks, like 630,000, he's like 600, what am I saying? 629,999, and then it goes to 630,000, and he like raises up like a little sparkler or whatever, right? Like celebrating. And then it goes to, or no, it was days until the next halving or something like that, or minutes or whatever. And then it switches over, and he's like, bummed out again because now he's got to wait. What is this? 1,458 days. All right, so let's see what's happening over here. I don't know. I don't think we're going to see a lot of action. I don't know. I'm probably so wrong, but I just don't think we're going to see a lot of change right away. I think it'll take some time. Those virtual people sleeping. That's funny. Oh, so these are in order of when they're going to have, I guess. Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, it's going to take some days. I don't think it's going to happen. It's not going to happen immediately. I don't see how it would, but who am I? Yeah, I mean, that's what it looks like, right? They're like out of it right here. That's funny. Oh, you missed the whole thing? Well, we learned a lesson. What we should have done for the giveaway, right? Since it was Bitcoin, what would have been really cool is if we tried to get some of the winners to be in that block, right? So we got to, Red Panda, we got to remember this for the next halving, right? We need to make it to where we try to get those transactions in that block for the halving. I think that would be neat. And then also, Neff had a really good idea to maybe have it. I know this is like about 4 years away, but we'll still do it. You know we'll remember it, and we'll still be here anyway. So, oh, what did I keep showing? Let me finish my statement because I get distracted so easy, and now I'm not going to remember. Oh, we need to do a competition like Neff was saying, where we pick, you could pick like who was closest to the value of Bitcoin at the halving, right? So that's another way of doing the giveaways and stuff. I think that would be neat. But having a transaction in the halving block would be neat too. This is a virtual meeting that Brian Nemesis, he's streaming the halving stuff. It's a conference. What is it? Consensus. I forget the name of it, but it's a conference that he's in, and he's streaming it. Oh God, a Girl just did a seminar of whatever presentation on nonces and stuff like that. So I guess that somebody's actually speaking right now. Yeah, it looks like it's funny because I guess they're probably just disconnected or something. I don't know, but it's just funny for him to spin around and see those people sleeping. It looks like they're sleeping. That's funny. So Zhao got the last question right too, right? Let me make sure I document that. And if y'all don't mind your who won here? It was Zhao and Abhinav. Those were the only two. So they know how to Google faster than all y'all. Y'all need to freshen up your Google skills, because Zhao and Abhinav just destroyed y'all. So Zhao and Abhinav, let me know if you don't mind your address being exposed. Let me know. Oh wow, he just hit 100K. Awesome, that's cool. I know he was close there. Suppleman streaming too. There he was.
I'm killing myself.
Yeah, that's awesome. Cool stuff. Price is falling fast, huh? Where are y'all seeing the price fall really fast? Yeah, I don't think I would be doing any trading right now, but I'm not a trader, so I don't know for sure, but it would seem like not a great time. Unless you have insider information, like, mining type stuff, whale type stuff. It only says 99,900 here. Somebody unsubscribe. I don't know, man. I'm seeing 99,999 right there. All right, there we go. All right, it's at 100,000 again. Somebody's probably just messing around, just unsubscribing and resubscribing or whatever. That's funny. Congrats, man. That's sick. Yeah, it might be a wild week here we're gonna have ahead of us. I could see it getting pretty crazy. All right, so tonight, I know I got to get those winnings out. I haven't done that yet. Did y'all say whether or not it mattered if your addresses were exposed? Because I would like to send it to you live, right? I would rather send it to you live. So let me know, Zhao and I'm gonna forget the name. I know I can't say it. Zhao and Abhinav. Go over there in the chat. Tag me in the chat and let me know if it's okay for me to expose your addresses or not. Yeah, I'm almost at 2,000. I'm actually pretty far away from it. I think I'm at 1880 something. All right, Zhao says no problem, so I'll do his. So it's actually $10 because you won twice, right? That was some sick Google foo right there. And you gotta admit though, those last two questions were pretty tough. I don't know how to do this to make it super easy here. So it's $10, so it's like 1.5. Pretty close. There's gotta be an easier way to do it. Come on, Zelcor. I want to be able to send based on USD value. That's what I want to do. Can't do that. Why not? Maybe an exchange connection in the background, maybe? I don't know. All right, we'll go with that. Invalid recipient address. Did I maybe I missed a character or something here? I gotta go back up and see if I can find Zhao's address here. Hey Zhao, can you post it again just in case I can't find it here. I think it was deleted anyway, so. Yeah, sorry about that. I must have messed something up here. Oh, thanks, Nefarious. Thanks so much, man. Alright, looks like I got the whole thing. Is it because that first character? I don't know, man. It says invalid address. I mean, I am copying and pasting it. Delcore is usually pretty solid here. Hey, thanks, Schlosh Meister. Thanks for that. Yeah, let's hit 1 million subs. That would be awesome, wouldn't it? Thanks, PCB guy. Thanks so much. You guys are awesome. Too kind, too kind. Man, I don't know, man. It's not, it just does not like that address for some reason. Something's not right. All right, there we go. So there's that. Then we got Abhinav with the same $10. Nope. I wonder why it's doing that. Abhinav, if you're still in here, check that address and see what did Zhao do different. It was a different style of address I saw, but Abhinav, are you still in here? I don't know if I'm saying your name right or not. Abhinav, are you here? Yeah, the thing about Vosk is he started his channel before, well, it was like midstream of the big run, right? So he just like lightning in a bottle kind of thing, right place, right time, starting it all off and going hard, going hard in the paint right off the get-go. Only 1,458 days left. Yeah, this one's going to be pretty huge, though. I mean, they all are, but going from 50 to 25, that first one, whenever the value was the way it was not anywhere near as significant as going from 6.25 to 3.125, or even better, 3.125 to 1.56, right? That's going to be absolutely insane. So in order for it to be worth mining, what do you think the value needs to be in US dollars, right? Pretty crazy, pretty crazy. Wow, we're still at 630,000. The hash rate's dropped so much. Look at the time now. 30 minutes between blocks. Are we going up? Oh, I thought y'all said it was gonna crash. Yeah, I think things are a little wild right now. You saw CoinGecko is still at 8,500. I mean, I don't know where they pull their data from, but alright, it jumped up to 86. Abinov, you're not listening. I can't send it to you. It's not letting me. I hate when my users say that. It's not letting me. It's not letting me do this. What do you mean by that? All right, I think I'm gonna have to end it here. I got stuff to do. I got some stuff to do. But Abinov, if you're watching this after the fact, or if you're just, I don't know, celebrating in some way, I guess, let me know, and I will give me another address, because that one seems like there's something wrong with it. I don't know how or why it would be like that, but Zhao was able to give me another address, and that one worked. So I don't know what's going on with this. I'm giving it one more shot here before I get off of here. Yeah, it says invalid address. I don't know, man. Hopefully, Abinov, hopefully you're a subscriber and you tune in to the live streams. I'll mention it tonight again at 9:30 Eastern time, my time, and see if you're around so that maybe you can get me another address. Or maybe I'll try it from a different wallet. I'll do that too. Yeah, this is going to be fun to watch, guys, for sure. Well, thanks for sitting around with me and watching this happen. That was really cool. We learned a few things, a little bit of trivia. And, oh, wow, Bitcoin dominance is going up too, like significantly. That's a huge indicator. It's almost at 70%. I mean, some people think it's a huge indicator. I tend to agree that it's pretty huge, but yeah, it's almost at 70, and it was only at 66%. So it's at almost 70 now, and it's increasing. So but yeah, so we did the trivia, we did the giveaway, we watched the halving kind of happen with the block, went into the block, saw the decreased mining rewards. Actually, let me bring that up again. We're not really seeing too much to do with the hash rate just yet. Yeah, so you can see right here, 7.1. So there's a lot of fees on there. Quite a bit in fees. Cool. So yeah, we're at 6.25 rewards now. Awesome. Oh, you're welcome, Zhao. Congrats on the wins, man. That was awesome. I'll probably slide over and watch Boss Coin's stream, most likely, and Nemesis. Bitcoin's going to zero, Crypto Mikhail says. Just joking. Yeah, so I guess that's it. All right, yeah, good Grease. I could just go on and on about this stuff. I'll see you guys tonight at 9:30. Stay savage, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. It was awesome. Thanks for the donations. Thanks for answering the questions and doing all the Googling. Cool stuff. See y'all later.